Hi everyone, welcome to Diana's Apothecary for puppies, kitties, and just about everyone. If you found me, this video, this channel, it's because you're like me, desperately searching for answers for your fur baby or fur babies if they were recently diagnosed with any myriad of diseases. You're like me and you walk in the vet's office, your puppy or kitty has nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and next thing you know, you're spending $1,000 and you're leaving with more questions than answers. Just imagine, you have your kitty of 9 years old, and that reason she's hiding, she's throwing up, not really eating. The next thing you know, they're telling my 9-year-old kitty and myself that, hey, she only has 6 to 9 months to live. And you're like, what? I'm sorry? This is my baby. She's 9 years old. What do you mean 6 to 9 months? Like, what, you mean years? And you're just like, what? Okay. What just happened? Like, I leave the vet's office and absolutely mortified at what I just heard. Didn't expect that at all. I'm just thinking she has a tummy ache or just there's something wrong, a little infection, right? Maybe she caught a cold, has the sniffles. But if you're like me, I was on Google, YouTube, AI, just anywhere I could think of to type in these search words, just frantically looking for answers, trying to figure this out. I'm searching for words like feline congestive heart failure, heart murmur, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. Also words like feline hyperthyroidism, IBD, irritable bowel disease, SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, dental disease, stomatitis. Like, the list goes on and on of all sorts of diseases our fur babies can, develop over the years. I'm just looking for answers. I'm trying to get to the root cause of these problems. Because if you're like me and the veterinarian's like, well, here's some heart medicine that should buy you 6 to 9 months. Well, the vet tells me, well, this heart medicine is the same medicine that people would take, except it's just the smaller dose to fit their body size, their body weight. But it's the same as people. It's people medicine just for their size, like the dosage amount. And so my first thought is, well, if this medicine worked so well, why is heart disease the number one killer of people worldwide still to this day after 20, 30 years? And then there's side effects too. So, okay, on top of all that, we'll be lucky to get 6 to 9 months at most, maybe a year. But on top of that, all the side effects. So that actually could speed up possibly her demise, make things a lot worse. And then I also know that people do have to up the dosage after a while too. The body eventually stops responding to it. So there's just all sorts of problems with, as we know, Western medicine with drugs. And I'm just thinking, well, there's got to be a better way. First of all, can we get to the root cause of this? We need to address the real problem. And I want to solve the problem. I want to heal my cat. I don't just want to give her a Band-Aid. That's what this channel is for. That's why I started this channel. Unfortunately, we just lost our baby kitty. She was almost 14, so in July, she would have been 14. Of course, she outlived her prognosis by almost 5 years. And I just feel compelled to share all this information that I've learned throughout the years that got her well beyond her prognosis. There's so much to cover, from nutrition, their diet, herbal supplementation, all different types of herbs, what their uses are, how to give it to them. And then, of course, the wonderful world of homeopathic medicine, which I will be talking about in great detail. Ultimately, I found that just too late. The body needs years for anything natural to eventually get to the point where it is now reversing the disease. I found all these things just too late. And I'm hoping that you found me in time. But don't worry, every kitty and puppy is different. Every body responds differently to natural medicine. There's always hope. The body has a resilience to survive. It will do what it can. And I would always treat it as such, that it's a long road to recovery, that this isn't the end. If I had treated her that way when she was 9, I don't think we would have gotten this far here in May of 2025. I wish I came across all of this information when she was 9, because I do fully believe that she would still be here. Unfortunately, I was frantically searching for answers, but only finding bits and pieces along the way, adding them when I could, making the best decision possible at that moment. I want to be clear, I'm not a veterinarian. I'm not a doctor. I'm not licensed in anything. I'm not certified with anything. I'm just a mommy with 2 fur babies. Well, now 1. And I just acquired and learned so much information that I wish to share it with all of you so that you can make the best decision possible with the situation that you're in and the circumstances. Try to heal your babies just like I got so far with my kitty and my puppy. I just wish to share all this information with all of you. I created this channel to organize everything and make it as easy as possible so that if you have, like, you want to go right to hyperthyroidism, we can do that. If you want to go right to cardiomyopathy, which is heart enlargement, we can do that. If you just want to go right to heart murmurs or dental disease or IBD, any one of these diseases that my kitty and my puppy currently and were fighting, that you're able to do so. And I wish I could have done that when I had the chance. There's so much I learned, and it's like you just feel like there's so little time. I will be doing a segment on nutrition because there's so much to learn about nutrition. There's not enough time in the day to talk about that. And especially if you're like me and you have a very picky kitty cat. It's not easy to change their diet to get them on the healthy bandwagon, if you get my drift. This little guy right here, he's a piece of cake. He pretty much will eat anything that's put in front of him. Doggies, I feel like they're just a little bit easier than kitty cats. And they're little finicky noses. They're so cute. So fancy, the way she used to sit in front of her food dish. But, hey, heaven forbid I put something in front of her that she didn't like. My goodness. So I will be talking about that actually in a separate video. Like, how do I feed my picky kitty cat? I want to give her this healthy food, but she doesn't really want it. And we can't really communicate with them, and that's part of the problem, right? I can't say, well, what about this food do you not like? Does it not taste good? Does it have a funny smell? Like, what about it is not right? Is it too cold? Is it too hot? Did I give it to you too cold? Is it hurting your mouth? Like, you have sensitive teeth, like you bite into it and it's too cold or something. I don't know. There's like a million reasons why my poor kitty had such a hard time. I found a lot of information a few years ago about how to feed her properly. Actually, after her first diagnosis, it was about 5 years ago, we tried to switch her diet, and there's a lot of mistakes we made, but there's a lot of things. It's almost like we followed protocol and it still wasn't working very well. So I'll talk about all the pitfalls, especially the pitfalls of herbal supplements and all the different types of herbal supplementation and other type of supplementation, not just herbs, but like omega-3s, for example, lysine, different amino acids. These are all the things that I wish someone told me about. It's like every time I went to a different vet, and I've seen so many vets, they all ask you what they're eating, but they're not asking you what they're eating in the sense of like, how can we address their diet? They're asking because they want to know what brand of dog or cat food you're giving your fur babies so that they maybe can recommend one of their brands that they might have. Fine, but again, they're not asking to get to the root cause of the problem, and that's really what I mean. It's like they didn't ask me. Not a single one of them asked me what my babies were eating and what supplementation they're getting, so that they can see where they're missing, what part of their diets, like, are they not getting the vitamin B12, B1? Are they not getting enough creatine, taurine for kitties, lysine? There's just all the amino acids. Just there's so much. And like I said, I'll have a series of videos on just that. Taking it one amino acid at a time, especially taurine, and how important that is for kitties, which I also didn't realize until too late. And when I say too late, I mean 5 years ago, because to reverse heart disease, I believe it can be done. It can at least be slowed dramatically. But I needed to know all this stuff 5 years ago. I couldn't be learning it as I went along and then introducing it a year ago, 2 years ago. The body needs more time. It takes years and years for disease like that to set in, especially hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. I mean, that's years and years of the heart muscle thickening. In her case, my kitty, her left ventricle was thickening to the point where the heart was having a very difficult time just pumping blood, getting the oxygen throughout the body. And that's ultimately what she passed away from. She didn't die from a heart attack. She didn't die from a stroke. No blood clots. Her heart just gave out. It just could not pump blood anymore. And one absolute surefire sign of that, her ears, I noticed, kept getting just colder and colder. Just her kitty ears, just cold. And the lack of circulation, the heart just gave out. It just couldn't hang on anymore. And I want to talk about, of course, I'll have a series of videos on homeopathic medicine, which is a whole separate thing from diet and nutrition and supplementation. Homeopathic medicine is a recognized medicine by the World Health Organization. I'll have a whole series of videos on that. That is something I discovered only about 8 to 9 months ago. So 9/11. I was in the ER with my kitty once again. I mean, we were going in and out a few times over the last 5 years, but that was the most recent visit, 9/11. She went into congestive heart failure again for the second or third time. I can't even, this is all a blur. Bear with me. But she went into congestive heart failure. I'm sitting in the ER at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I finally discovered homeopathic medicine. I don't know what I typed in this time because, geez, there's just so much we're frantically searching for, but it stuck out at me. Homeopathic medicine. Aurum metallicum. It's like, what? What is this? Gold? Like stuff I wear? My finger? My ring? My jewels? My earrings? What? What's going on here? That is what I believe led me to curing my kitty 2 diseases. Not 1, but 2. IBD, irritable bowel disease, and her heart murmur. She had a grade 4 heart murmur. She was diagnosed with that 5 years ago. Fast forward to about 2 months ago, the most recent vet visit, not ER visit, but a vet visit that was just to get a checkup. And the vet was like, well, if she had a heart murmur, I can't hear it. In 8 to 9 months, we cured her heart murmur with the homeopathic medicine that I had been constantly researching frantically, because it was like this whole new world I knew nothing about. And as I'm finding and researching, unfortunately, this is the part where it hurts, that every day that goes by is so precious. Time is the enemy here, especially with a stage 4 heart failure, any sort of chronic disease like that. And we were battling several diseases at the same time. And IBD was the other one, irritable bowel disease, that she was diagnosed with about, maybe at the same time, actually, maybe 4.5, 5 years ago. I'll talk more about that in later videos. But chronic vomiting every morning around 5, 6, 7 a.m., sometimes 8 a.m., we would just listen for it. It was like, it would come to the point where there it is. And one of us, me and my fiance, would come running out, and here we go again. It was like our alarm clock, unfortunately. And it was just a noise that you come to expect, and you start, almost like if I didn't hear it, something was wrong, right? Chronic vomiting, chronic diarrhea, gastrointestinal upset, classic IBD, just the way projectile vomiting, that is just it's very distinctive. I don't want to get into too much on that. Just know that it was IBD, and it was basically thickening of the intestinal tract. Just a complete mess of her microbiome, her gut. And we'll talk about all that in later videos, which is why I need a whole channel for this. But I realized about a month and a half ago that we cured IBD and her heart murmur. We cured 2 diseases with homeopathic medicine in about 8 to 9 months. And that is incredible and miraculous. I mean, my heart breaks. If I had just found this a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, when she was diagnosed with hypertrophic cardiomyopathy and stage 4 heart failure. That is how much time I needed for homeopathic medicine. And I just didn't get such luxury. I just hope that you found this in time where it can help your fur babies as much as it helped mine, and as much as it continues to help this little guy right here. Yoshi, say hi. Hi, hi. Come here. Hi, hi. Say hi, hi. He's a little sweetie. But because of my kitty, this little baby is still here with us, and he will live a long and healthy life because of her. All the tools that she left behind are helping him, actually. They're currently helping him, and they will continue to help him. He is exhibiting signs of heart disease. About a year ago, he started to really slow down his walking. He didn't want to really walk anymore. He didn't really want to play anymore. His appetite was kind of coming and going a little bit. He seemed just a bit more picky with his food than normal. Yeah, he just didn't seem very happy. His overall, I also noticed he seemed to be having a hard time going up and down our stairs. He didn't really want to use the stairs anymore. So now we're thinking arthritis, hip dysplasia, all these things just jump in your head again. And because of this homeopathic medicine, today, I mean, this morning, we were playing with his toys. He was extremely happy. He has been going on much longer walks. He seems like a puppy again. That is the greatest gift, just seeing the health turn around like that for the better, and just seeing him be that his happy old self again. I mean, this is Yoshi. He loves his toys. What do you mean he's not playing anymore? Like, that is just terrifying to me. I mean, you all know, you have fur babies, you know that feeling where you're not seeing them be themselves. Their personality starts to go. It's like, you love these toys. Like, this is, that's him. He loves to hop and play, and he has that back now because of her. And I just hope that this information gets out to all of you, to give you that joy again, that spark again, and that there's hope. Even if, like, she was 9, she was only supposed to live at most 9 months, an additional 9 months. We got her to almost 14 years old, and that's so many more memories, more Christmases, more holidays, just everything. And time is the ultimate gift of life. Like, that's all we want. Everything we do in this life is for more time. And we didn't reverse heart disease, although we did cure seemingly the heart murmur and IBD, but we bought more time. And that's what I hope to give to all of you. That's what little Yoshi hopes to give to all of you. And just know that it's not over until it's over. It's not over until it's their last breath. My goal was to treat her as though she was going to recover, because she deserved that. Our kitty deserved that. Our puppy deserves that. They love you. They look at you like, you're all they have. So they want you to fight whatever it is that they're going through. They don't want to be alone. They want you to help them beat it. They want you to fight it, and they want to be healthy. They want to be happy. They don't know. They don't know anything about anything. They just know that they don't feel well and they want to feel better. That's how I feel. Like, they deserve every fighting chance if you can give it. And quite frankly, the natural alternative route is much cheaper, much more affordable for people than every time I had to run to the vet and spend thousands of dollars, still with no answers, very frustrated, in tears. Everyone's been there, done that. And of course, surgeries are very expensive, and they're very risky too. Like, there's a lot of risk. There's a couple surgeries that she needed to have that we couldn't take the risk. She might have died. And actually, she wasn't even a candidate for the tooth extraction that they needed to do, that ultimately led to her demise. Dental disease leads to heart disease really being a secondary disease. So she needed her teeth out. We couldn't get them out. She wasn't a candidate. They wouldn't have done the surgery even if we wanted to. You have all the money in the world, but if no one's going to do the surgery for your baby, then what do? You're not going to let them suffer. You have to find a different way. There has to be a different way. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I wish to share with all of you. I will begin discussing herbal supplementation. We can start there. And I'll basically be discussing one supplement at a time. I just want to be clear, I'm not an affiliate with anybody. I don't make any money for referring you to anybody. I don't have discount codes. I'm really sorry. The point is, I would like to share every individual supplement. So please like, subscribe, follow this channel. Look forward to my next video.